some tough situations in our life where we think हम और कितना कर सकते हैं. We don't know how much is our potential. We don't know till what time we can go on and go on and on. Who decides barrier to us? We only, right? I don't know what life is going to put me in what situation 1 year down the line. We don't even know certainty of our life. We don't know how much time do we have. What do we know? Or what do we have in our hands? That's what I'm going to talk about today. A girl who comes from a very remote village from Rajasthan. English as a subject was introduced in class 6. And I've studied in Hindi and Marwadi medium. So I completed till class 12th. I was in that place. And then I studied very hard to get into IIT or NIT. I went to MNIT Jaipur. I was a chemical engineer. And that was the first time I was being introduced to the city life, or you can say a good college life. So when I was there doing my engineering, that time I challenged myself that these are the 4 years I'm going to make best use of. So what did I do? I was a team of 5 college sports teams. I also made robots. I was a part of robotics team. I was a part of cultural team, and so on and so forth. At the same time, I was also very good into academics. Why? How was I able to do that? Again and again, I was challenging myself. I had dreams, just like all of you. I had ambitions. It's just that I never got opportunity before. And that was the moment for me when I got opportunity to do multiple things or to become an all-rounder, to do what I wanted to always do. Not an easy journey, but it did not stop there. I joined corporate after that. But when I joined corporate, I was working with Reliance Industries. And then again, is that it? I entered into IIM Calcutta, another proud moment. But is that it? Is this all my potential? Can I do more than this? Maybe yes, because I'm the one who decides how much I'm going to achieve or how much can I achieve. And what I have seen, there is no limit to that. When you have courage, strength, motivation, impossible becomes possible. So when I was at IIM Calcutta, I started Women Customized Shoes Startup. Again, not easy to cope up with studies, placements, and at the same time doing startup, but I was enjoying that. It was a thrill. There was night outs, late nights, working, managing team at the same, attending classes, doing placement, presentations, whatnot, everything. I was like, wow, me and one more friend, Nitesh, you two are the only people from IIM who has startups. And I was enjoying that part too. At the same time, I was a part of, again, College 6 sports team at IIM Calcutta. That was the first year I'm talking about, which is the most hectic year of your 2 years. And these all decisions were made by me because I was challenging myself at every moment, at every step in my life. And finally at IIM Calcutta, I thought, okay, I'm going to graduate from this college and I have my startup. And definitely I'm going to get a good job, but whether to take that job or not, that's up to me. Depends on my startup and placements and everything. But what happens all of a sudden? When I was studying, when I entered into second year, one of my friends who had other startup got diagnosed with cancer. And when he told me, he said, he was crying and he was like, I want to live. I was like, yeah, you are not going to die. He said, yeah, but I'm scared, because that was the time when he got the news that he has cancer. And for me, I said, which stage is this? He said, third stage. I was like, yeah, then you're going to be fine. Because हमें तो ऐसा लगता था कि पहली बात तो कैंसर के बारे में ज़्यादा पता नहीं था. And secondly, I said, I heard that fourth stage patients, which is the last stage, they usually die. But you are at third stage, you are safe. I was equally scared in terms of, it came as a shock to me as well, that how can a young man of 25 years of age get diagnosed with cancer? And while I was doing caregiving for him, out of that compassion and empathy for him, we fell in love. It was not an easy journey. Some of you might be knowing what it takes to do caregiving for a cancer patient, or what it takes to go through that journey. radiation therapy, which burns your body, major surgery, where your entire lifestyle changes, and 6 months of chemotherapy where they burn your body, put poison in the body to kill cancer cells. And there was entire treatment of 1 year, which we went through when we were in second year. And with that journey, when I was taking care of him, we fell in love because the journey was exciting. It was a journey of togetherness as a patient, as a caregiver, as a friend, as a startup buddies. We both were together all the time in the second year. And with that, we fell in love. And that love made this journey even more beautiful. When life put me in that situation, it happened where I unlocked my another potential that yes, I can take care of a cancer patient. Yes, I can still do good in my academics, better than first year. And yes, I can still run my startup and I still can sit for the placements and get the best job. Never thought I'll be able to do that. But when I was in that situation, I was able to do it. Because at the same time, I challenged myself that I'm not going to give up at this time. I had the option of not to do caregiving for him. He received the cancer, but I had option not to be with him. But what did I choose? To be with him, to do caregiving for him when he is going through the difficult situation of life, when you get to know that you have cancer. And not only that, I fell in love with him. At the end of this 1 year of treatment, we decided to shut down our startups because last 1 year I was not able to do justice to his treatment as well as the startup as well as the academics and so many other things. So we decided to give it a break. So we both shut down our startups and we graduated. And at the same day of convocation, we both got engaged in college, the same room where we spent 1 year. And a new journey started. So I got placed in Bank of New York and I thought, wow, now finally 1 year of treatment is over. It was a very difficult phase of her life. But again, this was something which we received and we are going to take it, accept it gracefully of what comes in our life. And what we can do is to make the best out of it. Yes, we are going for chemotherapy sessions. Every 15 days, we are going to hospitals. But when we will come back from the hospital, we would stop at the mall, spend some good time and then come back to college. Because those were the small things which were giving us happiness in the middle of so many things going on. And then what happens? I started working. My joining was early. I started working with Bank of New York and Nitish's joining was late. So I was like, come to Pune, let's have some time before you move to Singapore. And we, as any other couple would do, we had dreams, we had plans, getting married, shifting to Mumbai and whatnot. And finally we were like, thank God, we are going to start a new life together now. But is that it? No, it's never enough. Because we just don't know what we are going to get in life. He was in Mumbai doing his MRI. He went to doctor to take permission to get married and he went to do MRI and then immediately came to Pune. And his doctor sent me his reports on WhatsApp. I was like, doctor, I know everything is fine and I'm going to give you good news soon that we are going to get married. And doctor said, Dimple, come to Mumbai immediately. We went to Mumbai and Nitish was doing its PET scan where they see where all you have tumors in the body. And I was sitting with doctor just like this. And doctor said, Dimple, no matter what you do, he's not going to live after 6 months because it's already last stage and it has spread in his entire body. I was numb, crying, shocked, and there's nothing I could do in that moment. I have faced very difficult situations in life, but not like this. Never where I'm helpless, where I have no hope, where I just don't know how to take that one extra step from here now. Whatever I achieved, whatever I did, I knew what to do. That's why I could do it. But this time I don't know what to do. A few days later, I avoided this talk with him, but he knew already what is happening. And then I gathered all the strength and then see what we can do now. So all the family, friends, we all came together and started doing research on clinical trials and what's treatment and what not, everything what exists in this world to save him. I was not able to do work and caregiving both together this time, because this time we had a timeline of 6 months. This time we had no idea how we are going to lead our life from here. This time there was fear. There was no hope in the beginning. We were scared and we were lost in this world, in this whole new world of cancer. I took sabbatical. At the same time, I was researching on treatment across the world, sent his reports to 20 best hospitals of the world, 20 top oncologists, what can be done. But everybody said the same answer, that if any clinical trial is there that might save him, that too 1 out of million or 1 out of lakhs of cases. It's like, that's okay, still I have hope. Maybe he is the 1 out of million people who survived clinical trial. And then I remembered the story of Sati Savitri. And I was exactly in the same situation, where she married a person who was going to die in 1 year. But she told her father that I want to marry this man. Father stopped, but still she did. I was like, when she can bring her husband back from death, why can't I? Why I am giving up today? With that hope, I convinced Nitesh to marry me. We married in a temple in Pune. Thanks to my family, had great support from them throughout this time. We got married, and at the same time, I started doing research on trials and went to US for advanced treatment. Never thought that I will be planning to go to US, that too for medical treatment, which is a nightmare. When you don't have insurance, when you have no idea where you are going to go, what treatment you are going to take, the treatment cost, at least you should have 1 crore when you're going to US for medical treatment. At least that's a minimum. And I'm deeply grateful to all the alums, friends, strangers. Thousands of strangers came together, supported us, blessed us with their love to save that one life. And I'm deeply forever grateful to them. We went there. Again, our friends, alum, supported us. It was a very different, difficult journey there as well. But I was crazy that there's nothing I'm seeing right now. Only one thing, I want to save him. After a few months, he lost his voice because of tumors. He was in depression. He lost 20 kgs. His mouth was bleeding. He has blisters all over the body and many other things. And that was the time a Gujarati family, Karya family, who lives in US, California, they came to visit us through some contacts, and they saw us in a horrible situation where they were like, what are you doing here? And they said, come home. And that was the home we were waiting for. We moved to their home. When we were there for 6 months, they took care of us from everything, not just for patient, for Nitesh, but also for me. They put our wishes, our health, our time, our plans, everything on priority, and did every possible thing they can do to make my life and his life easy. I say them, they are humans in angels form. And I remember Nitesh said, this world is beautiful. People are wonderful. And we both were emotional, looking at lots of love we were getting from everyone. There was a time in December 2017, just 5 months after he was diagnosed with last stage. His reports were not good. And he said, he cried and he said, Dimple, I want to live. Like, yeah, we'll do everything. We are trying and we'll do. And that time we visited a doctor from Stanford who said, you have 3 months. But we were hopeful. The things we were doing, everything from the spiritual, mental, physical perspective, from the environment, from eating, medicine, supplements, meditation, yoga. That's another thing that we started too late when we did not know how to take it forward. By the time we started, it was too late for him to start. But last 2 months, it became January, February, and I saw he was full of joy. A person would say, I want to visit this center, beach, call my friends, this trip, that and everything. I was like surprised that your cancer is spreading, but you are full of joy, you're full of life. And that time we were thinking, how can we give back to society? It was 19th February when At midnight, he was short of breath, and I had to call 911, and they immediately put him in ICU. But I had hope, because in hospital I fought with doctors that I want to do all these things with him, on him, because I have hope until the last time he's breathing. I have read many near death experiences. I know he will survive too. He was in ICU for 23 days. And then on 18th March, he took his last breath. When I look back at this experience, and what I saw on his face was peace, joy, satisfaction, and comfort. And that gave me a satisfaction that wherever he is in a better place. He is happy, he is free of suffering of last 1.5 years. Yes, it is painful to see that a man with lots of dreams and ambition, he was in IIT, he was at IIM, he had a successful startup, and then get cancer, and then dies in 1.5 years. When I look back, I feel proud the way he fought this journey. I feel proud of myself, the way I stuck with him, doing every possible thing in this world to save him. It doesn't matter how many years you live. What matters is how well you live in those years. I saw his last 1 month, he was full of joy, jumping, happy, while his tumors were spreading. So he was getting healed. That was the time when I decided to help millions of other cancer patients, because the things which I got to know very late, what all to do in a cancer journey, how we can improve our quality of life, how can I extend his life, how can I make this journey more beautiful, more peaceful, more with less pain, less suffering. I did not know this before. I suffered a lot too. And that was the time I decided to help other cancer patients. I met some amazing scientists in the US who are working in this field from last 50 years, and that they became my mentors, and came back to India and started Love Heals Cancer, which is an NGO to support cancer patients, because I had hope, because I had that courage, because I again challenged myself that I'm not going to give up. आउटकम क्या होगा बाद में देखेंगे, लेकिन आज मेरे हाथ में क्या है, मुझे ट्राई करना है, मुझे पूरा कोशिश करना है उसे बचाने का. Similarly, when I started Love Heals Cancer with a very simple vision and mission to help those millions of cancer patients, or to help that one cancer patient who need me, who need this organization. And when I was working on Love Heals Cancer, again, thousands of volunteers came together to help others. Was that it? I was able to create, yes, a big impact, but to a limited number of people. And that was not it, because every year in India, more than 10 lakhs people get diagnosed with cancer. It's become a very common disease. And every year, 9 lakhs people die with this disease. I see death every day, everywhere. It means that's not it. More than 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs people are living with this disease in India. More than that. It means that's not it. There is more to be done. I was trying my best, dedicated my entire life, everything to fulfill this mission, to vision, to help others. And when I was doing that, one of my friends from IIM Calcutta, Kishan, who was working with JP Morgan Investment Banking and then GIC Private Equity, he was doing volunteering with us, and he said, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? There are patients who are dying, people who are suffering. And if I have that potential, that capability to save that one life, my purpose of this life is done. So he resigned from his dream job of becoming the great person in the field of finance. And he was there. You know what it takes to reach, to become the investment banker at JP Morgan and Singapore Government Sovereign Wealth Fund. He resigned from that. And he joined me in my mission to help cancer patients. And then we together started ZenOnco.io, which is the world's first integrative oncology health tech platform. Now I can say we can help those millions of cancer patients who need us. We couldn't save that one life, but we can definitely save many other lives. And that's the simple vision and mission we started with. I never knew what potential I have. I never knew that I will be working in the field of cancer, or I'll be taking care of a cancer patient, or I will see a death in my family. I was very scared of death before. Never ever thought that I will be losing a loved one and I'll be doing his cremation. But it happened. And when it happened, मुझे नहीं पता कहाँ से strength आई, कहाँ से courage आया, कहाँ से वो potential आया वो सब करने का. And when I got to know the theme of today's talk is unlocked, level unlocked, I said this beautiful. बिकॉज हमें पता ही नहीं होता है कि हमारा कितना ज़्यादा पोटेंशियल है. हमें पता ही नहीं होता है कि हम एवरी डे वी एक्सपीरियंस न्यू थिंग्स इन आवर लाइफ्स, be it work, be it relation, be it anything. And every time we unlock new levels, and every time we see that, yes, we have achieved something. And this is what I learned from my life, that never ever give up. Do your best. Look at the process, not at the outcome. And the process is always beautiful. And as Mother Teresa says, we can do no great things, only small things with great love. And that's what we are doing every single moment. Thank you so much.